You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump. I had the shirt. I was a MAGA junkie.
Oh, good old Jennifer is back again. Jennifer, at this point, I'd rather had admitted that I was a crackhead rather than a MAGA junkie. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 here. I wanted to go ahead and watch this video because remember Jennifer when she was saying that she had regretted voting for Trump? Well, actually, in the last video, I forgot which network did it. She didn't necessarily say she regretted it. She put it in a way where it's like she was thinking about it. But CNN recently interviewed her and she said she regretted it. And she actually called herself a MAGA junkie. I want to say MAGA is not a cult. However, I go back and forth with it because it has to be. If people are still willing to support a man and he's the cause of you losing your job, losing your livelihood, and you still are willing to die on that hill for this man, you're in a cult. I'm sorry. You're going to actually hear from another lady who said she was scared she was going to get let go. So she actually retired before they could fire her. So we're going to go ahead and get into all of this, but let me go ahead and shut my mouth and let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Let's go, y'all. Here we go.
This flag used to hang there.
This was the flag Jennifer Piggott proudly hung outside her home during campaign 2024.
We had the flag. I had the shirt. I was a MAGA junkie.
A MAGA junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, it's a really scary thing. And I was embarrassed.
He's a good boy.
Piggott was
I want to say something real quick. So again, I don't want to laugh at anybody getting let go from their job, but I still have to stick with what I've been saying this whole time. These people thought, oh, he's just going after the immigrants, the brown, black. He's just going after the others. He's not going to come for me. Mind you, they have been talking about making these cuts since, I want to say October. Like you knew this was coming. Everybody's saying like, yeah, we need a smaller government. We need to cut these jobs. Did you think they weren't going to cut your job? If you work for the government, just know you are affected. A federal job is the government. And maybe people don't realize that or understand it. You voted for your own demise. I can't feel sorry for you. Cry me a river.
abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. The reason given for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
I had my last review on the 31st of January, and I had the highest rating that you can get on a review, less than 21 days before I was terminated for my performance.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the
So she said she regret the vote right there, finally, right? But I wanted to say this too. What a lot of people don't know is that some of them were told, the federal employees were told that they would be laid off, right? Well, they were let go and they could apply for unemployment. Well, here's the thing. Usually during a layoff, you can get unemployment because you were laid off from your job. What this whole DOGE cut thing did was say that it was based off of performance. Now, if you ever applied for unemployment, if there's ever anything wonky or strange and like it was your fault you got fired, you don't get unemployment. Mind you, unemployment is only like a couple of $100s, but you don't even get that if your previous employer denies you because it was for bad performance. See how they set that up? Horrible.
The knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, Piggott says she's received death threats and her home has been egged. This woman asked us not to show her face for fear of
Here we
retribution.
go.
She recently retired from the Bureau of Fiscal Service because she was afraid of losing her health insurance if she was fired. She also voted for Trump.
Would you still have supported him?
I'm not sure that I would have. The way that it's been done, I'm for balancing the budget, that type of thing, but not in this context. It's just.
I don't like how she didn't say no. She didn't say no. I'm not sure if I would. That's too much question in your answer. I need a flat out no. This was stupid. I regret this. Like, I should not have did this. I should have did more research.
It's just not right.
Earlier this month, a federal judge ordered half a dozen federal agencies to immediately offer thousands of
Listen to
probationary
this.
employees their jobs back. But this week, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to put that judge's ruling on hold and stop those employees from returning to work.
Ding, 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 ding. And so I have family who was actually affected by these cuts, right? And they were told that they were going to get their job back. And right now they're just on paid leave. So right now they're in limbo waiting like, okay, what the hell is happening? You see the Trump administration is pushing back and they're trying to put this up in the Supreme Court. Now, we know the Supreme Court is mostly conservative. So 3 of them were appointed by Trump. So he's hoping that they'll be all like, oh yeah, nah, they lost their jobs. That's it. A lot of people aren't realizing, yeah, we got the Supreme Court to try to protect, but it's not. So the Democrats, they don't have the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, the president, they don't have anything. So literally, you need to look at who you're voting for. And yes, I'm calling out people who voted for the Republicans because, again, this is affecting y'all. You thought it was just the colored folks. You thought it was the immigrants. You thought it was the trans. No, it's you too.
Eric Engel is a representative for the National Treasury Employees Union.
They are fully reinstated, all 125 of them. They are on paid admin leave.
Now they're getting paid for not doing their job. So did the government really save any money here?
Not at all. No. That's not. I mean, I personally don't believe that was ever the point, but they're not saving any money from these probationary and trial period employee firings. This has nothing to do with eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse.
The Bureau of Fiscal Service employs more than 2,000 people here in Parkersburg. People we spoke with told us it's considered the place to work. Jobs at the.
And I want to say this. How do we know that those people were expendable? Like, how do we know that their job did not matter? For example, my family members worked in the IRS. We know that with the IRS, you all get your tax returns back late. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's always chaotic. I mean, you can't get nobody on the phone with the IRS. I mean, that's for any government agency. However, we know that they need people. That's not a job that you really should be cutting. And again, show us why these people are being cut. Yes, there's administrations in the past like Bill Clinton and Reagan who cut jobs as well too, but they didn't cut jobs within a week and a half of getting into office. Like, this is literally not normal. People need to realize that it is not normal.
Bureau are hard to come by, and people have always believed it was one of the most stable employers. Rhonda Bragg is another probationary employee who was fired from the Bureau. She didn't vote for Trump because she feared something like this might happen.
A lot of people who
Smart
voted
lady.
for Donald Trump lost their jobs now. What do you think about that? What do you want to say to them?
You know, at first I wanted to say, when all this happens, you deserved it. At the same time, they're in the same spot that I am. And I honestly don't think any of us deserved it. It's not even $50,000 a year.
Rhonda, don't feel bad. No. Say, ha, 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 look at you. Now, granted, Rhonda, you did not vote for Trump, so I will say I am sorry to you. I hope that you find something, or at least let's see what the Supreme Court ends up doing, and hopefully everybody gets their job, or at least that paid leave. Whatever y'all get, y'all need y'all money. I will say that across the board. But Rhonda, don't feel bad for them people. I feel bad for you, though.
you know, it's not that much money. I'm blue collar just like the rest of them in this valley.
In a statement
Mhm.
regarding the reinstated employees, a spokesperson for the Treasury Department told us they are weighing how best to consider their performance, Treasury's operational needs, and the Trump administration's government-wide effort to increase efficiency.
Baby.
That's hardly any consolation to Jennifer Piggott and her family.
If you could say anything to President Trump now, what would you say?
I expected better from you. I really did. I expected that you would do what was right and cut waste and fraud and all of those things that you promised us before we elected you in office, but you're not doing that. You're creating a disaster, and I don't know what America is going to look like if this continues.
I want to point something out because I have to go back and look back in October when actually, I think it was like August, they were really talking about these federal cuts and stuff like that, right? But what was supposed to be the waste and fraud? Like, what is the waste and fraud in the government? They keep throwing these random things out, like the transgender mice, people who are 300 years old or getting Social Security checks. They keep throwing these random things out, but they haven't said like, hey, these are payroll hours that people been getting overtime for or whatnot, or people are not working or doing their job efficiently. Like, it hasn't been proven. And especially if you're going to be firing people, you need to explain why. You can't put performance, and really it's nothing to do with performance. That's the crazy part to me. And we have to be honest about that, because these are real people. These are real Americans. I know I'm laughing at the Trump supporters and stuff like that, but this affected everybody. This including, it affected them. And if they don't realize that they made a huge mistake, I don't know what to tell you. And then I also question this too. Next time, what are they going to do? Because I feel like, oh, well, it's not going to be Trump. Well, Lord forbid if they don't do that whole third term thing. But the way this is, they let him get away with everything, right? But next time, are they going to be like, hey, I'm not trying to mess with Trump or J.D. Vance? More than likely, J.D. Vance will run. But I'm not trying to mess with J.D. Vance. You know, they did this and that. Because remember, everything Joe Biden did wrong, Kamala was blamed for it. So everything Trump do wrong, are they going to blame J.D. Vance? Or I want to see that same consistency. That's what I want to see. But again, I feel like if they could do it all over back November 5th, they'll probably do it again and vote for Trump. So I don't feel bad at all. But anyway, you guys, please let me know what you think about this video and this whole topic about the federal workers. And I want to say something else too. So you already know I talked about my sister and my aunt. They were let go from their federal job. Now, they were told that they would get paid administrative leave, all that. However, they have not got a check. So I would like to know, any federal workers who got laid off, have y'all got y'all checks yet? Because if they just holding that money, like car note, mortgage, things still need to be paid. Y'all need y'all money. Please let me know in the chat. I would love to communicate with you guys and really talk about this, because I think a lot of people are just like, oh, they're cutting waste and fraud. But it's all like, no, these are real people. These are people who had a job and they were working. Nothing was wrong. Literally, this is, and again, the DOGE cuts is just to save money so they can do those tax cuts for the billionaires, all that. Man, we'll be here all day if I really go in. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you want more political videos. A lot of you guys have been giving me positive feedbacks, and I really appreciate that, because AT2 does have a brain, believe it or not. But I love y'all. We out. Deuces, everybody.